Hey guys, how are you? David Franco here from TechSocial.com. I'm very proud to announce the brand new section of my personal website called Ask a Question over at dfranco.com/ask. This brand new section is, well, exactly what it sounds like. You guys ask questions and I answer them. I'm always getting questions about where do you buy this? How do you do that? Why do you do that? Whatever. Questions are awesome, and I love questions. That's why I love email. I'm a heavy email person. But sometimes there are questions out there that deserve a more public answer, such as, why do I talk with my hands so much? With all that said, if you guys are interested in asking your own questions, just head on over to the URL right below my chin, post a question, and, well, that's it. Oh, also, I should mention this is a huge win-win for both of us, meaning, well, me and you, because not only will I be answering your question and giving you guys more video content to enjoy, but you'll also be getting exposure in any way you want in terms of YouTube, website, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff, because you're asking your question, but you're also including any link of your choice, which I think is a pretty good deal. Anyway, with that brief intro out of the way, I will not be going over that in every single Ask a Question video, don't worry. Let's get into today's question, and that comes from Evan Clark, also known as PoppyTop. He says, "Hi David, my question has to deal with website design and exposure. I was wondering what kind of designs do the majority of people like? What can I have on my site, design, widget, feature-wise, that people will like and bring them back? Also, how do you gain exposure for a website? I have ads on adfor5.com, which is my mini website, and that brings in some good traffic. What other things could I do to bring more people to my site and make them come back and stay for a long time?" Thank you for your question, Evan. Okay, so let's start out with website design. You guys probably know by now that I'm a huge fan of simple, clean, yet effective designs. This is a very important thing to keep in mind. Just because a website is very clean and clutter-free, that doesn't mean that it offers any less information than other cluttered websites do. In my opinion, the more cluttered the website, the more unattractive it is to me as the web viewer, the visitor, whatever you want to call it. So I personally am a bigger fan of clean designs. Okay, so for a great example, just go to dfranco.com, that's obviously my website, and let's go to the homepage here. As you guys can see, it's a nice 2-column layout. On the left is a blog post, and on the right is a sidebar, because we typically read from left to right, which makes sense. On the right, I have a search widget, I have an ad, social media buttons, which are a must, because you guys got to connect with your audience, my 15 YouTube tips button, my live broadcast button, request creative services button, my Instagram feed, which is just Flickr, my stylize your work creative stock button, which advertises my work, my recent tweets, and finally my recent posts, as well as an ad, and also way at the bottom, web hosting discounts. Now that may seem like a lot, but it's really not, because once you have a lot of content on your website, and in terms of content I mean blog posts, it really doesn't seem that cluttered. For instance, I have 5 blog posts per page, which I think is pretty good. That way it's enough content, but it's not really overwhelming. Hopefully that gives you guys a good idea of a simple website design. Alright, so going back into the question, how do you gain exposure for a website? The best way to gain exposure, in my opinion, and well, this is basically a fact, and I realize this is not for everybody, because trust me, I'm very fortunate to have this behind me, but you guys need to have a good following behind you. If you're starting a website, it's pretty wise to have a following behind you in some way, whether it's YouTube videos, a decent Twitter following, Facebook friends, or even friends in person and family that can go to your website, expose it to others. So basically, to be successful with a website, you have to already exist in some form or another. For example, I'm actually a great example of this. I am very fortunate to have over 45,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now, this certainly did not happen overnight. I'm sorry for the background noise. That's Hunter, our puppy. He's playing around. But anyway, my point is I have been on YouTube since 2006. From 2006 to basically probably 2008, I focused on my videos. Then from 2008 and forward, not only are YouTube videos a huge focus of mine in life and very important focus of that, but websites are also a huge focus of mine. I am obsessed with websites. If that's not obvious by now, I have TechSocial.com, dfranco.com, adfor5.com, and my new huge project coming out soon. I really don't want to talk about it too much. However, with that said, you don't need a large following just to get views on your website, which I will admit is the easiest way of gaining traffic. There's a great website called mylikes.com. It's just the word my then likes, MYLIKES.com. Link is right below as usual. Go there. You can advertise your website for a pay-per-click kind of view, or a system, I should say. So, for instance, if I'm advertising techsocial.com, I can go over to mylikes.com, budget $20 or so using my PayPal account, and say I'll pay my Twitter followers 15 cents per click. And then when people click their ads, they link on their Twitter feed, they get paid, but I also get views on my website. That's not the best way of explaining it. Just trust me. Check out mylikes.com. And of course, advertise, advertise, advertise. Do not be afraid to promote yourself. You might annoy people here and there with posting links to your videos and websites constantly, but who really cares? The people who really, really enjoy your content will click the links. I can guarantee you that. And from there on, it kind of avalanches into kind of like an automation system. And finally, what other things can I do to bring more people to my site and make them come back? I kind of answered that already, but to bring them back, the best thing to do is create, create, create. I have seen so many people create YouTube channels and websites and Twitter profiles and Facebook profiles. They use it for like 2 months straight, but then they just forget about it. I realize there are more important things in life, such as school and work. Trust me, those things are definitely more important. But if you want to make it online, you have to stay active. You cannot have a blog and then just stop blogging for 5 months straight. People need to know you're serious about your content. So create, 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 share, 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 publish, 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 advertise, advertise, advertise. And yes, I'm hitting myself. And yes, there's that freaking clock in the background. I swear that thing is out to get me. Anyway, Evan, I really hope this answers your question. I realize I'm very long-winded when it comes to, explaining my passion. But, well, this is my passion. This is my life. YouTube videos are a big part of my life. And in my opinion, YouTube videos can play a large role in creating a website, advertising a website, and making that website successful. Also, I should mention that Evan did not include a YouTube link or anything like that, but I'll put any links of interest below. I guess he does advertise on adfor5.com, so I'll put whatever links he has on that website right below my head. And yes, I like to use my body parts in reference to link locations. It's what I do. Alright guys, that wraps up today's question. If you guys are interested in getting your question answered as well as brand exposure, again, head on over to ddefranco.com/ask. Post a question, possibly it'll be answered. I can't promise I'll answer every question because I'd probably die of lack of oxygen at that point because I like to talk a lot. But I do hope to answer the best questions that are made possible on this new forum. And that about wraps it up, guys. I will see you next time.